brain's reward system is about energy, not dopamine. New research suggests scientists have long framed dopamine as the brain's primary reward chemical. But new research suggests this understanding may be fundamentally flawed. A study from Hebrew University proposes that the brain's reward system isn't about dopamine signaling itself. It's about metabolic energy. This shift in perspective has profound implications for how we understand motivation, addiction, and mental health. The limitations of the dopamine model for decades, the prevailing neurological view has been that dopamine floods brain circuits when we experience something pleasurable, creating satisfaction. This model underpins much of our understanding of addiction, hijacked dopamine pathways, motivation, dopamine-driven goal pursuit, and depression, dopamine depletion. However, research consistently shows that dopamine levels don't always correlate with enjoyment. You can crave something intensely without experiencing pleasure when you finally get it. A disconnect that prompted researchers Matten Cohen and Shur Atzel to investigate further. Metabolic energy. As the core of reward, the new framework redefines reward as a consequence of metabolic processes, rather than a direct product of dopamine or opioid activity. Dopamine, in this model, acts as a physiological regulator, a gas pedal that increases heart rate and mobilizes glucose to prepare the body for action. Opioids, conversely, are the brake, promoting rest and recovery. The feeling of reward emerges when the brain anticipates energy availability, triggering dopamine to prepare you for action. Satisfaction arrives when the body shifts into conservation mode, signaling that needs have been met. This framework is groundbreaking because metabolic markers, glucose levels, lactate, ATP, are objectively measurable. Unlike subjective experiences of pleasure, these indicators allow for more rigorous scientific analysis. What this means for motivation and pleasure motivation, according to this model, isn't driven by dopamine itself, but by the brain's prediction of energy availability. We are drawn to activities, food, social interaction, achievement, because our brains signal that they will provide resources. Satisfaction, then, is the body shifting into energy conservation mode. Heart rate slows, stress hormones decrease, and a sense of relief emerges. This explains why some rewards feel empty. If an activity doesn't serve metabolic needs, or if the anticipated payoff never materializes, the system remains unsatisfied. The runner's high isn't simply about endorphins. It's about the metabolic shift from intense exertion to recovery triggered by the opioid system. Implications for addiction and depression. This framework offers a new perspective on mental health. Addiction may not be about hijacked dopamine pathways, but about disrupted energy regulation, leading to cycles of intense mobilization followed by unsustainable crashes. Depression, rather than simply being caused by low dopamine, may reflect impaired metabolic sensing, breaking the natural cycle of wanting, obtaining, and feeling satisfied. While this is still a theoretical framework, measurable metabolic indicators could transform how we study and treat these conditions. What you can do. This research suggests that dopamine hacks may miss the underlying energy dynamics. Instead of chasing dopamine hits, focus on supporting metabolic health through stable blood sugar, quality sleep, and regular movement. Pay attention to the difference between genuine motivation, energizing, and craving, depleting. Understanding that reward is rooted in biology, not willpower, can reduce self-blame. If your reward system feels off, treat it as a metabolic signal worth investigating. The core takeaway is that the brain may be optimizing energy, not maximizing pleasure. When struggling with low mood or cravings, consider providing your body with the resources it needs to function optimally.